Hi guys, I don't know what happened there. I have just attempted to go live and it completely cut off. So this is take two. We should try again, shall we? Okay, hi, my name is Sharon May, if you don't already know me. I'm coming to you live from my garden over in the UK. I hope you're all well and enjoying the sunshine wherever you are in the world, or maybe you're not. Maybe you're a different part of the world and it's not quite so warm. So I hope you're all well, as I say, and enjoying your time. The sun's gone down here, so I'm not squinting at you for a change. I can actually look at the camera without going like this, because we're told not to use sunglasses. It's not good. We need to make eye contact. So if you are hopping on, just come say hi. Let me know where you're watching from. That would be great. And also, if you're on the replay, watching it later, if you could just put hashtag replay, that would be fantastic. Just helps me to see who's hopping on and when, so that I can get timings right and what have you. So what do you think to the hair today? I actually didn't do it especially for this, or maybe I should say that I did, but I didn't. It was my hair appointment, and Laura, my hairdresser's done a fantastic job again. So I'm feeling a bit glamorous out in the garden today. So as you can see from the title, it's all about reducing your stress levels. So today, for my day 9 of my 14-day challenge with Ray Higdon, I just would like to share with you, oh, there's a helicopter, bear with me. Oh, it's okay, it's not too loud. I'd like to share with you 4 ways to reduce stress in your life. It's getting louder, okay. Okay, we're just gonna wait for a couple of minutes while this flies over. All right, just check my notes. It's live, what can I say? Hey Gaynor, hi, thanks for hopping on, good to see you. Listen. Love it, don't you just love it on a live? It's all good. Can you hear me and see me okay? I know that the signal out here isn't brilliant. It never has been. I'm in the middle of a forest, so it's probably not great anyway. But if you can hear and see me, then a thumbs up would be great. Okay, let's get into it. So I'm going to share with you just 4 tips for this evening. I watched an amazing documentary on my laptop this morning. So I'm just going to share 4 tips with you to help you. I mean, stress actually results in illness and disease. It's quite a scary fact, and I've actually got a statistic here of over 90% of illness on this planet today is based on lifestyle and stress and not genetics. That's very worrying. That's a huge percentage, isn't it? 90% of people in this country, well, in this planet I should say, not this country, the world. And it's all to do with stress. I mean, do you want to know the good news? We can actually do something about it. If it's lifestyle and it's what we're putting into our bodies and it's what we're putting into our minds, and it's, we can actually change something. We can do something about it. So that's what I want to share with you today. I mean, emotional health is so important, as I'm sure you all know. But I just jotted a few things down here. If we're holding on to negative emotions, it affects us internally, our organs, right down to a scientific level, in our cells and everything. So if you're hanging on to fear, it affects your bladder and your kidneys. If you're hanging on to frustration or anger, or you're having that in your daily life or your job, it's toxic to your liver. If you're suffering with grief, maybe you've lost a loved one, or you have depression, or you're going through a divorce or something, that can affect your colon and your lungs, which of course is your immune system. If you're affected by worry, you're a worrier and you worry every day about things or people or things you can't control, and you're hanging on to that can affect your heart, your small intestines, your nervous system. And finally, anxiety. So if you're an anxious person, if you're anxious about things that maybe haven't happened yet, or you're worried that's going to happen, it can affect your heart, your small intestine, and your stomach and your pancreas. So basically we need to get a grip. We need to get hold of what it is we're putting into our bodies, and we need to stay as positive as we can. What leads us to make stress hormones in the body is actually it's pressure and urgency or fear. This documentary, it just blew my mind, and I'll be more than happy to share with you the link for that at the end. So my number 1 tip to help with stress in your body today, and it sounds obvious, but it's breathing, it's breath. You need to become aware of how you're actually breathing. I don't know if you've heard of a chap called Wim Hof. He is a Dutch extreme athlete, and he's actually known as the Iceman. If you haven't heard of him, go and Google him. He's absolutely amazing, and he actually appears on this documentary. He was born, I think he was one of a twin, and he was actually born in a corridor of a hospital, I believe, in a cold corridor. I think they weren't aware that he actually existed. I know it sounds a bit odd, but honestly, you need to go and watch this documentary. It's really, really eye-opening. But the things that he does, I mean, I think he holds the world record for swimming in iced water, surrounded, I think I know he holds the world record, but he's an athlete. He climbs mountains wearing nothing but shorts. It sounds a bit insane, but he believes that it's all about two things: breathing and belief. And he was even injected with, I think it was E. coli or something, deliberately, obviously with his permission, to prove that anyone, he says he's not special, but obviously he's learnt these skills to be able to deal with these extreme temperatures. And as I say, I think they injected him with something like E. coli for him to prove that it's mind over matter. You can do something about this internally. I just found it absolutely amazing. And I will, as I say, I'd love to share that with you at the end. So number one, become breath aware. So many of us, I'm including myself here, need to learn to breathe correctly. We shallow breathe quite a lot of the time. We're not using our full capacity of our lungs or our diaphragm. And when we're stressed, that gets even worse. So it's, very sort of quick, shallow breathing, which is it's not going to help the situation. So what you need to do is to learn how to breathe from your diaphragm. Now, I got this wrong for many years, but since doing yoga, I've learned a lot more. And what it is you need to take, when you take deep breaths in through your nose, preferably, and out through your mouth, what you're trying to achieve is to expand your stomach. So when I used to breathe in, my stomach would go in, but what you need to do is to expand your stomach. So as you breathe in through your nose, you should actually be just breathing from your stomach and not your chest. So my advice would be to put one hand on your chest and one hand on your stomach and just breathe a few normal breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth, and just see where your hands are moving. Okay, you want to try not to do too much movement in your chest, because that's where the shallow breathing comes from. So just work. It might be easier to lie down. So if you're a beginner, to try and do some diaphragmatic breathing, lie down, put one hand on your chest, one on your stomach, and do your very best to expand your stomach as you breathe in through your nose. And then as you relax, you want to try and deflate your stomach. Okay, it sounds simple, but it's actually not as easy as it sounds. But that's what we need to work on to actually reduce our stress level. So if we're feeling overwhelmed, we're feeling stressed, we feel like we've taken on too much, or we're thinking the wrong thoughts, take 5 to 10 minutes out of your day and do some proper diaphragmatic breathing. It really will help you. Okay, so that's my number one tip, to get the breath. Just be breath aware, if you like. If you want to call it that, that's probably a good place to start. And as Wim Hof says, there's a little quote here: the breath knows how to go deeper than the mind. Okay, so that's something you can do and practice at home as well. Number 2 is actually meditation. Now, if you've been following my journey on my 14-day challenge, you'll know that I spoke about meditation the other day. If you didn't see it, please do go back, have a little scroll through and see if you can find that one. I can't remember which day it was now. But that's really important. It's such a good one. I know I keep banging on about it, but it really does help with your stress levels. So please, if you're not sure how to meditate, go back, have a look at my live on meditation. Check out, you can find many sort of online meditation ones that you can follow along with. It doesn't have to be for long. It could be for 5 minutes. And it's not all hokey pokey mumbo jumbo rubbish, honestly. I know people do think that. It's actually scientifically proven, and it does actually, it's got biological effects. So it does affect you on the inside. It's so good for the mind, just to calm everything down. And boy, do we need that in our lives. I mean, 24/7, 365 days a year, we are on the go, and our stress levels are just way too high. And all it's going to do is just cause illness and disease, and we don't want that. Hey Joe, thanks for joining. Thanks so much for hopping on. Hey Runa. Oh, I got my little CrossFit crew back on here again. Thank you so much for joining me. So yeah, number one is getting your breathing right. So diaphragmatic breathing is really important. Number two is the meditation. If you're not sure, please go back, watch how to meditate. It's not difficult. And if you don't want to do that, then just Google meditation. There's lots of online ones you can follow. A good one to follow is Headspace. I tried Headspace. That's a great way to start, because they talk you through everything. I think you start like a couple of minutes and then you build up. And I think it's free for a month, and then you can choose to pay after that. So number two is meditation. Number three is a simple one again. Simple for people is sleep. I know you might say, but I don't get enough sleep. Well, make sure that you do. And I'm telling you now, if you do number one and you do number two, so the meditation and the breath work, it's going to help you to sleep better. Trust me. It's something that I've done. It's something that I'm trying to teach my partner to do, but he's also got a lot on his plate. But I know that it works because I've had several, people who've told me the same. So make sure you're getting enough sleep, because that really does help throughout the day. And number four is basically diet. We know what's good for us. We know what's not so good for us. But in these lovely summer months, over here in the UK at least, make sure you're getting lots of fresh fruit, vegetables and salads. Yes, have your meat-based proteins if you are a meat eater, of course. But I myself am actually going to try, I think, for maybe, I haven't decided on a time scale yet, but I'm going to go for more plant-based diet. I'm tempted by a raw diet for a few, might even try that for a couple of weeks, but maybe not yet. I need to speak to maybe my my CrossFit coach, Jamie, just to see whether that's going to be good for me or not. But yeah, I watched this documentary. It was incredible. And I know that if you're looking to reduce stress in your life, that you're going to love it too. So I really hope you got some value from my live today. I believe that was day 9. I hope I'm on track. Not many days left to do 14. So I hope you got some value from the first 4 tips. I do have another 4 tips. If you are interested, please reach out to me via PM, direct message, and I will drop those over to you as well. But as well as that, I will send you the link to watch this amazing documentary on fear and stress and how to overcome that. There's a guy on there who actually overcame, I think he had, not pancreatic, it was bowel cancer. He was diagnosed when he was 26 years of age, and it just goes through his journey and what he decided to do. Yes, he had the surgery to have obviously the cancer removed, but he was told by the doctors that he had to have chemotherapy. And his thoughts were, I don't want to poison my body. That just doesn't sound right to me, to be poisoned to get well again. So he actually went an alternative route, and he did obviously the breathing, the eating correctly, so putting the right things into his body. But I don't want to spoil it for you. So if you would like the extra 4 tips, please do reach out, and I will send you the 4 tips and the link to this amazing documentary of both Wim Hof and the guy who overcame cancer. So, hey Sally, thanks so much for hopping on. I've just finished. I'll have to do a little recap. So have a great night, whatever you're up to. Reach out to me via private message. I'll send over the 4 tips and the link to the documentary. And I'll catch you again tomorrow for day 10 of my 14-day challenge. Okay, take care, guys. Bye for now.